As someone with blonde hair and blue eyes, watching that Sydney Sweeney ad about good genes made me quite uncomfortable. And there's a lot of discourse like, oh, it's not that deep or it is that deep. But at the end of the day, I know how it made me feel. And some people will be like, oh, this is white savior complex. This is white guilt, whatever it may be. And it's like, I love my blonde hair. I love my blue eyes. I love my white skin because those are the features that I was born with. I can't change them. I love me for me. But I don't think that they're particularly good or better than any other set of genes. In fact, there's a lot of evolutionary defects. Like, I can't go into this.
One clothing brand, which is the American Eagle, released an ad for jeans as a pair of jeans that you can wear. And in this one, they featured a lady, Sweeney something. And in this ad, there's quite a lot of things that she said that left a lot of people unsettled and also left others saying, hey, you guys are trying to be racist to us because we are proudly this, right? But there's just quite a lot of connections that are made between this. This ad, again, left a lot of people asking, are these people trying to, advocate for something here or normalize the Neanderthal DNA? I don't know. I think we're going to have to look at the ad first and then the reactions from those that are saying, aren't white people supposed to be proud of their genes? And then from those that are saying, why do you link genes, a pair of genes, with genetics? Make that make sense. You guys are going to let me know if you've landed on this ad already. You are allowed to put your opinions in the comment section. I'll come back with mine, but do me a favor, like the video, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
There is no way y'all saw that Sydney Sweeney commercial with American Eagle and thought, I don't understand what the controversy is about. Y'all made me go back and rewatch the commercial to make sure I wasn't tripping. So now, class, we're gonna watch it together. Roll a clip.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
They had a blonde hair, blue-eyed, white woman sit in front of a camera and play with the words Gene with a J and jeans with a G. And then said, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. And y'all don't see nothing wrong with that? There's this guy in history, his name is losing me, who used that same ideology to unalive groups of people, stating that people with that genetic makeup were superior. What's his name again? Hitler! Hitler! And you cannot convince me that all the people that needed to approve this commercial before it aired, including her who sat in front of the camera and said it, none of them thought that this could be mildly problematic. Even mildly. At this point, we just going for anything. Y'all just cool with whatever. Okay.
And I would never actually do this, like ever. But I think it's really important for people to see how words actually affect people. And I know everyone says like you can't read things and you shouldn't read things, but like I'm a person. I'm just sitting here with my dog Tank watching HGTV, wearing my Snuggie. Like, I don't know. People need to be nicer on social media because it's really tough.
So let me get this straight. Only us minorities are allowed to be proud? Only we're supposed to be happy about our race and how we look and our heritage and our culture, but white Americans, Caucasian people in the US are not allowed to be happy or proud about how they look? I saw the Sydney Sweeney ad for American Eagle and I genuinely didn't see anything wrong with it. What's wrong with white people being proud about being blonde and having blue eyes? All I see on social media are minorities being super proud about who they are, speaking about it, jumping up and down, talking about it all day. But then white people are not allowed to be proud about their heritage and how they look. It's the hypocrisy for me, because we're the ones always pushing this equality and this fairness thing, but I guess it only counts when we're excluding white people, and that is such a hypocrisy. White people and white Americans are human beings, and at some point we have to stop judging them and attacking them for things that some of their ancestors did 50 to 100 years ago. They have a right to live in peace, and they have a right to be happy, and they have a right to be proud.
As someone with blonde hair and blue eyes, watching that Sydney Sweeney ad about good genes made me quite uncomfortable. And there's a lot of discourse like, oh, it's not that deep or it is that deep. But at the end of the day, I know how it made me feel. And some people will be like, oh, this is white savior complex. This is white guilt, whatever it may be. And it's like, I love my blonde hair. I love my blue eyes. I love my white skin because those are the features that I was born with. I can't change them. I love me for me. But I don't think that they're particularly good or better than any other set of genes. In fact, there's a lot of evolutionary defects. Like, I can't go into the sun without getting burned. I have to wear sunglasses like 99% of the time. But that's besides the point. To promote something that implies that blonde hair, blue eyes white skin are good genes, the historical context and implications of that, while simultaneously there's an ethnic cleansing actively happening in Palestine and Gaza and the West Bank of brown, Muslim, Arabic people, it feels tone deaf. If nothing else, it feels tone deaf. And it made me feel weird and uncomfortable. And I'm not trying to make this about me in any regard, especially with what's happening in Palestine, Gaza, and the West Bank. But as someone that shares features and genetics with Sydney Sweeney, blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin, I'm just trying to share a little bit of perspective on it.
Are people overreacting to the Sydney Sweeney commercials?
What? American Eagle paid a white woman to talk about how great her jeans are.
Right, it's a double entendre. She has good genes because people think she's hot, and American Eagle is selling jeans.
It's a series of supremacist dog whistles, and in response, American Eagle stock shot up 17%. Supremacists are feeling emboldened, and America is celebrating it.
I mean, the commercials feel icky for a number of reasons, but maybe this was just a series of stupid decisions.
There's one commercial in the series where she's talking about how her genes are handed down to her from her family.
Right, that's the double entendre.
Her MAGA family.
Yeah, I mean, the campaign is tone deaf, to say the least.
She said her genes are blue. Blue jeans is a nod to eugenics.
They're also selling blue jeans. I've never actually heard of blue jeans.
She has blonde hair and blue eyes.
She also has pretty big stardom. American Eagle has a long history of using sex symbols to sell clothes.
Why are you choosing to defend this, of all things?
Oh, no, I'm not. Honestly, the commercials feel gross. It's just that I think this is more of a series of circumstantial mistakes that when you put together are insensitive and hurtful and could be read into.
That's what a dog whistle is. It's supposed to slip under the radar.
No, I get that. But this one in particular feels like one of those situations where some of the loudest people on the left are feeding the narrative that the left is out of touch with reality.
Holding people accountable is out of touch? Should we just ignore dog whistles, or do you think we should educate people?
I think that most people see this as a series of mistakes that honestly they could have made. By us calling it supremacist propaganda, we're claiming an unrealistic standard that, I mean, they can see right through.
We're not going to see eye to eye on this. Supremacists are feeling so emboldened. An international organization and a very current star put out a supremacist campaign, and America didn't even bat an eye at it.
I think that framing it that way might actually embolden supremacists to be more vocal. But framing it as a company that had to walk back a stupid mistake because of public backlash, that signals to people that there's no tolerance for that bullshit.
I don't actually know how to end this video.
Yeah, it's gonna feel self-righteous if you back down.
I don't give a fuck Sydney Sweeney being in that ad for American Eagle. I'm more alarmed at the fact that we're going to see a lot of companies start announcing their alignment with fascism and white supremacy using y'all's favorite celebrities. And it's just going to revolve and spin into discourse because it's going to be a celebrity doing it rather than us criticizing the companies. Obviously, there's been some criticism to American Eagle specifically. But y'all know that Ram ad that says, "You just can't stop being American"? Yeah. The fact that so many companies are about to feel so empowered and comfortable to announce to the public, if you buy from us, this is what you're supporting. That's going to be the real kicker. That's where we're going to see people, start to fall. Because you got to put your money where your mouth is. I think that overconsumption is a problem anyway. Obviously, capitalism is a problem. Lining these billionaires' pockets with useless products, that's a problem. But these companies are outright trying to tell you, this is where we stand, just so you know. Like, if you're going to continue buying with us, this is what we're doing, unapologetically. Also, if you're a blonde-haired, blue-eyed person and you're against this Nazi shit, you should probably speak up very loudly, boldly.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like, fascist weird. Like, Nazi propaganda weird. Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like this? Probably not, but it's still really shocking. Like, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda. I also am thinking about like all of the young girls who are doing their back-to-school shopping right now at places like American Eagle who are seeing ads like this. Yikes. Also, American Eagle is mostly a brand that like...
They want to control white people so bad, and the Sydney Sweeney case is a prime example of that. They really don't want beautiful white women being proud of their ancestry.
There's so much discourse on whether or not this ad is a dog whistle, or they're talking about eugenics, or this is white supremacy. Well, it could go either way. You know who didn't misinterpret this? White supremacists.
Muslims hire other Muslims, Indians hire other Indians, Jews hire other Jews. All right, my beautiful white people, gather around. First things first, these people are funded by the Tiny Hat Gang, who has sent them out to recruit more pawns to do more of their dirty work.
This woman, Mayonnaise Mary, has heard this message from Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle loud and fucking clear. This is what happens when they try and silence white people. Okay? If you're curious, if you're on the fence whether or not this could be interpreted, here's your fucking answer. Just as an aside, is the master race in the room with us now, or should we expect them at some point? Woof, dude.
That Sydney Sweeney ad makes me feel vindicated in the long-held belief I've had that whiteness is getting small again, and what is considered white is going to change radically back to what it was not too long ago. Because I have always emphasized on the Northern European beauty standard. Blonde hair, blue eyes. That is very important in whiteness. Every white person, every person who's considered white who is not born with those things will be forever chasing whiteness. They will never be white enough. And they know it. Not everyone. Oh my god, this fucking terrifying ad for the children horror movie. I thought more people were going to be downplaying it and not seeing it for what it was and how fucking creepy it is. The attitude for a while has been going back into this pinnacle whiteness standard of blonde hair, light eyes, especially blue eyes, paler skin. Like, this ad makes sense for this time.
Sydney Sweeney has officially flown too close to the sun, and nobody should ever be shooting her bail ever again. Never again. She's shown you who she is multiple times over now. You see, everybody seems to have forgotten about / swept under the rug the fact that at her mother's 60th birthday party, they had spin-off hats made of Make America Great Again hats that said Make 60 Great Again. Not only that, her close family was at that party wearing Blue Lives Matter shirts. Not only that, that party was thrown at a ranch, and that may seem like an insignificant detail compared to the other two, right? But you couple the aesthetic of the clothing that people were wearing with the fact they actively chose a ranch as a venue. I don't know. It's kind of just blatantly saying racism to me. It's saying I'm a conservative piece of shit, telling me. And people did the typical thing they do when a white person they like shows them that they are actually a conservative. They say, oh, well, that was just their family. You know what I'm saying? They can't control their family's views. Like, that doesn't say anything about their political tilt. You know what I'm saying? And then Sydney Sweeney came out with a statement, oh, you guys, I just wanted to share photos of my mother's birthday party and you guys made it some insane political statement. No, motherfucking Make America Great Again hats and Blue Lives Matter shirts at a birthday party. You are making it political. That attire never needs to be worn at a birthday party.
Here. Sydney Sweeney has very keens.
Oh, Sydney Sweeney, here we go again, setting back woman 20 to 40 years. What is going on with you, Sydney Sweeney? Please explain to me why you, a successful actress who was literally on one of the most famous TV shows of all time, Euphoria, feel the need to stoop to this level and do this. First of all, I'm going to call out American Eagle. American Eagle, you sell jeans to teenage girls. And you also sell jeans to preteen girls. Go into the American Eagle store, tell me you don't see a bunch of preteens walking around. Why do you need to sexualize jeans so much, okay? That's the first thing. Second of all, there was a time in history where people who didn't have good genes, aka blonde hair and blue eyes and fair skin, were persecuted and, hello, the Holocaust, okay? So you're telling me that this ad thinks it's appropriate to say that, to put a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned woman in an ad and say she has good genes. It literally is giving the same, I don't know if I can say this, but it's literally giving Nazi propaganda, to be honest.
When Sydney Sweeney took those pictures, do you think that she knew that this was like a eugenicist and a ZIS propaganda kind of photo shoot? Or do you think she was just at work that day? And more than that, do you think like the 6 remaining Sydney Sweeney fans will defend her the way that they defended Sabrina Carpenter in the whole Lolita photo shoot series of photos thing? I guess what I'm really asking is, more than the artist's intent, how far are we as consumers willing to go to justify or explain away this kind of behavior before we put our foot down and say enough is enough? Like, Sydney Sweeney has been on the weird end of things for more than a little while now. To assume that she is just ignorant and floating through life would be laughable in a way. But also, I've seen some casting calls for models, and they can be pretty vague, you know, blonde-haired girl needed for jean photo shoot, you know what I mean? And I think that Sydney Sweeney is kind of this litmus test, as she often feels like she is, for how far the people are willing to go in terms of accepting this kind of behavior. If she was a willing co-conspirator in this ad, would it change the amount of outrage and disappointment that people are feeling right now? Or would they try to defend her and by proxy ignore what's happening in the ad? How far will traditionally beautiful women really take you in terms of pushing propaganda? And what is our role in all of that? And somebody else has said all of this probably way more put together and intentional than I did. But I guess my TLDR is, wherever you happen to land on the Sydney Sweeney litmus test yet again, don't forget this happened. Don't let this slide. And don't be afraid to look into the deeper meanings of things. Because one thing American Eagle is not known for is its jeans. You know what I mean.
You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, so I went and saw it. That's not propaganda. Wow. I thought it was going to be like kind of bad. That's going to be in history.
Quick, someone explain to me how a woman with lip filler is making an ad about having really great jeans. So your jeans are blue, but you tried to make those lips black.
So Sydney Sweeney's latest American Eagle ad has been causing all this controversy on the net. She took a bunch of pictures like these, and a lot of people making comments like this. This user said, something about an ad sexing a woman with blonde hair and blue eyes while commenting that she has great genes feels extremely conservative, especially in this political climate. Another person says Sydney Sweeney is doing fascist propaganda, and if you like her, you're a fascist too. It's quite possibly the stupidest, most likely to backfire liberal overreach social media pylon in the history of the internet. And then I've seen videos of people calling it the propaganda. I personally don't see why it's causing all this controversy. To me, it's just an ad for jeans. But what do y'all think about this?
I'm going to say this once and once only, and whoever want to take it how you want to take it. The beauty standards that society have created is literally black features on a white skin. Good night.
For anybody who says that the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ad campaign wasn't meant to be a white supremacist eugenics dog whistle, I would point them right to this comment. This is what was meant to happen. This was strategic, right? You give white supremacists something to rally around, and they will. Yeah.
Black people, listen up. She's rebranding Neanderthal genes. She's rebranding Neanderthal genetics. It ain't nothing to be upset about. The fact that the White House came out and defended the whole Sydney Sweeney thing is telling enough, because this is our administration. And on top of that, this is classic American tactics. But you know what you need to do? The same thing you did with Target. Cut them off. They don't need your business. They don't need your business. Cut them off. Cut them at the knees. Don't even look at the store. Don't even give them your vision, because you know what they're relying on? They're relying on black people to be upset. So when black people are getting upset and then we're bringing more traction to them, they are now gaining a new fan base, a fan base of racist people, a whole new brand of European Americans just coming to them. Cut them off and call it a day.
Hey, you want to go to American Eagle?
Oh, I can't go in there because I'm black.
American Eagle is getting canceled for the racist ad with Sydney Sweeney. What happened? Sydney Sweeney is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman who did an ad for them. And in the ad, they said Sydney Sweeney had good genes. So everyone lost their mind.
What's the problem with that?
People are saying it supports white supremacist ideology. It actually said genes are passed down from parents to offspring, which determines your hair color, personality, and eye color. My genes are blue.
Oh,
and then,
oh yeah, that's bad.
I wasn't finished. And then it said Sydney Sweeney has great
that
genes.
is clearly a dog whistle for Nazi.
Think an ad about genes with Target. Does that even make sense? There's clearly no innuendos, and they were only talking about
these same eugenics we're discussing is the same eugenics Hitler said were the good.
Why does everybody compare what Hitler did from back then to today? Act like this ideology could be harmful to other communities. Have you lost it?
I'm saying in no other timeline in the past 20 years would this commercial have been okay.
What?
But in today's climate, the fact that they still made it and put it out as professionals says a lot about American Eagle.
People are now threatening to boycott American Eagle and that they'll shop at Levi's instead.
And that's fine. Any company that wants to take a position like that is getting exiled from Americans that actually care about our communities and others.
I'm sorry, but it's too late. Can't wait to shop.
Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. Jeans made with 100% white cotton. These jeans are so pure, all the other jeans should be set on fire. These mixed polyester jeans should be rounded up and exterminated. We at American Eagle want one thing for the future. A place where one gene prevails. Come get them for $19.99.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
American Eagle launches a campaign that they star Sydney Sweeney, where they use eugenics-coded languages, which people are not, stupid in this modern day, and then pipes up and say that it was not intentional. It was just something that, again, they were trying to use wordplay. And within the campaign, Sydney goes on to say that genes are things that are passed on to, obviously, mother to child, such as hair color, eye color, and then she said, my genes are blue. Then there's a voice in the background that says, Sydney has great genes. And when your fashion ad sounds like something that came out of a eugenic textbook, people are going to talk. Because genes versus actual genes is not the pun that you intend, especially when you center a blue, blonde, white woman. Especially as we divulge in the current American political climate, it's not something to come here and say that it's not intentional. When brands start talking about how Sydney Sweeney has great genes whilst they echoing white supremacist and far-right ideologies that carries language that historically has been used to weaponize it to silence and obviously participate in dehumanizing others, should not be something that is celebrated. Because again, you're being called out for something that is very important, especially given to what's currently happening in America.
If you have blonde hair and blue eyes, you have to get to the front. We have much to discuss, and no, it's not good. My briefing here says that y'all are on, Y'all are on probation until we figure out what the hell is going on with Sydney Sweeney. It's not looking good for y'all. Now, we knew the risks associated with letting somebody like Sydney Sweeney back into the public eye. We did. We all knew, and now we are facing the repercussions of our actions. If you have blonde hair and blue eyes, the pale skin is a given. You are on probation. Y'all are on time out until we figure out what is going on with her. I will be back on here to give y'all an update of when the probation is lifted. But it's not looking good. Please expect for there to be about a 2 to 3 month minimum probationary period for y'all. I'm so sorry about this. but you know, it is for public safety. So
This woman is a cautionary tale. And when she's done offering herself to be used up by some of the most vile among us, she will too become red meat, like so many other white women greater than her have done before. But before we even get to how she is revealing herself as the poster child for pick-meism, that brain-eating disease, let's just get into a little bit of how white supremacy is going out real sad. It's getting real embarrassing over there. White supremacists are like those people who show up to a party that they're not invited to, and don't know when to leave and don't know how to take hints, and they keep trying to open other people's birthday presents. Like, they're like the type of kids who blow out another kid's birthday candles. In the days of John Wayne, Marilyn Monroe, FDR maybe, back in the day when all of their skeletons were still hidden in the closet, I could kind of see how the myth of white supremacy would be somewhat convincing to people who didn't know white people personally, because shocker, not only are they humans just like we are, not only do they struggle with the same type of shit that everybody else struggles with, but often their families are fucking train wrecks. Half of them don't know how to raise their own kids. They are defeated by the sun. And these so-called superior genes are literally washed away within one generation of interracial breeding. But aside from that, back in the day, when you had, I don't know, fucking Robert De Niro and Al Pacino and all of these like white stars and everything, maybe I could kind of see how you could spin this myth that white was better, especially considering the rest of us weren't allowed to step into the spotlight and completely smoke them the way that we are today, okay? Now, this is not a dig at white people in general, but this idea that white people are supposed to be the top of the food chain, are you fucking kidding? Do you see who their representatives are today? You got Trump. Trump alone is supposed to be their great white hope of returning the white race back to their natural place at the top of the food chain where they're feared and revered. But all I'm seeing is how much they're fucking hated. Trump is an international embarrassment, okay? Billions of people are waiting for this man to die, actively to be dead, so that we no longer have to be subjected to the filth he spreads and the chaos he causes.
Can we just say there's quite a lot of things happening right now? And especially in America and the administration that is in office, I feel like there's no one that is going to be left unexposed, especially those that lean more to the far right. Because personally, the question that I have is, make this make sense to me. How do you link genes being passed down? And these genes determine the eye color, and you're telling people your genes are good, and who said they're bad? That's the first question. Why are you trying to prove? Like, what are you trying to prove? It's okay for you to have those genes. They are great, amazing. But don't you think people that don't have the same, traits like you will kind of feel offended, especially if you term yours as good? And then what are others supposed to be thinking? Also, explain to me the link between genes, a pair of genes, and genetics and DNA. Now, let's put that aside. This ad is supposed to be attracting everybody, including black, brown, all sorts of people, right? Except, because this just dropped in my mind, except they are trying to specify their target audience and market, because that is a possibility too. It's a possibility too. Lululemon came and said, we don't want white black people wearing our brand. So it's very, very possible for these people to use this, even if they are actually not saying it, but then they are saying it, right? But let's say, if not, then what are other people that don't have the blue genes? I'm not talking about the pair of genes, the blue eyes and the blonde hair. What are they supposed to do? Just leave this slide? Especially in a society like America where everything is racial, the features and everything, right? This is something that can affect others and how they perceive themselves. let's not forget that these have been considered the standard of beauty until when people had to come out and say something. So for people that think there's no problem with this, right? I mean, this is how they groom you to hate yourself indirectly. So you start desiring what others have termed beautiful. To please who? God created all of us, scriptures say, in his own image. And we are totally different. And I think we are supposed to be beautiful. Personally, I just feel like it is okay. You can have blue, like your genes, nobody has any problem. Nobody has a problem with the fact that you are white. You're supposed to love that. You're supposed to cherish that. I think people get a problem when they realize you throwing some subliminals, trying to indicate that you are superior, especially if this is linked to one of the biggest atrocities that have ever been committed in humanity, which is literally just someone looking at you and they think you don't deserve to be here. But I'm gonna say that a lot of people's true colors have started coming out, especially during this administration, because it enables that. It enables you to feel confident to be racist. You have seen quite a number of sagas, that those that are brought on here, and more others that you have landed on other, pages, right? So all of them are trying to literally, come out and confidently say those things that they would never ever say quite out aloud, right? I don't think being black, I'm superior. I don't think me being black, I'm better. I don't think my genes are better. But I think I was created to perfection, with perfection. So for people that are like, oh, so white people are not supposed to be proud. White people are proud. Everything is modeled according to their standards that they have defined to be beautiful. So that is expressed. Pride is expressed in that. Yeah? Except if you are trying to start something. And then she came out and cried. A lot of people were eating her up in the comment section of, why women tears, oh, we have seen this all the time, stop pretending and all of that. But generally, those were some of the things that people had to say. Me personally, I feel like it's okay. You can be proud. But if we are to be honest, there's no connection between genetics, DNA, and a pair of genes, except if you're trying to sell something. And I wonder if that's what people saw as well, and they're like, you know what? No, this is problematic. But anyway, what do I know? You people, which genes are better? I don't think there's any better genes, honestly. I feel like we are all created with perfection to that. It's just perfection. You can't add to it. You can't take away from it. Period. It okay? So I think it is okay to appreciate others. And if you have a target audience as well, if you're making such arts, just specify that so that at least people know where to go and where not to go. I think for me for today, that's it. I do love all of you. And I hope you guys have a great day. And yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this, American Eagle ad. Did it rub you the wrong way?